can't kill the metal. Metal will live on.
Welcome back to Beer Me Dr. V. We changed our setup a little bit. As you can see, I have our logo set up on the laptop and my shirt. You can't really see it because I'm sitting down. But yes, I just did this today. Crafting. I definitely tried to etch my glassware, but it was very difficult, and so I gave up and made a shirt instead. So we are doing our episode today on HopFusion Ale Works, which is located in Fort Worth, Texas. So if you guys don't remember, we are here in Fort Worth, Texas. We're about 40 minutes east of Dallas. I have a confession to make. The last couple episodes we recorded, I realized that we're not recording with our microphones. And so I'm hoping it sounds a lot better. We actually had some music in the beginning. We would be messing with our soundboard, but the cable was the culprit of why it wasn't working. So our soundboard's like here underneath the table somewhere. So at least hopefully from now on, it'll sound a little bit more clear for everybody. Mags is a good sport. He was under the table trying to fix things while I was having a panic attack. Tell us about HopFusion, babe.
HopFusion is one of our go-to breweries, maybe because it's about 5 minutes away from us.
So close. They have 6 staple or year-round beers that they have on tap. They also do cans. So if you guys have checked out one of our previous episodes with Four Corners, we talked about the difference between nano, micro, and macro breweries. Yeah. I would say that HopFusion is probably considered a microbrewery because they actually still have to-go beers on site. Mm-hmm. So again, that kind of is a way of telling you that they're not as large as some of these other macro breweries like Four Corners or Community. One dead giveaway will be the beers to go on site. So that you can actually have their cans, but it just depends on the production. So we've got a Feisty Blonde, we've got the Feisty Redhead, Tejano Lager, which we will be sampling today. El Gran Pepinillo, which is what, cucumber in Spanish? The cucumber, yeah. The giant cucumber. And then Coco Añejo and First Slipper. So those are their 6 beers that they have. Those are going to be the ones that they actually sell in stores also. So you can get them, you should be able to get them year round unless they're sold out because they're so delicious.
I feel like these staple beers are the ones that they make all the other beers with. Like these are their base. Yeah, their base, I guess. Yeah, flavor, their base flavor.
So we just this past weekend had Feisty Fest, which I think I've heard of before, but maybe we just weren't going as often. Mm-hmm. So Feisty Fest, they kind of just go all out and use their Feisty Blonde and make different random flavor beers. So our third beer today is going to be one of the blondes with a different flavor. So we'll mention that when we get to that. So it sounded like HopFusion was started by 2 guy friends that they were in like a biker gang, but not.
I think it was like wife and Matt.
No, those are both guys. I actually had to look it up. It's 2 dudes.
Macy and Matt.
Macy is the man.
Oh,
picture on the website. I know. I thought it was a wife and husband too, and then I saw the picture and I was like, "Oh, it's a man." Never mind. I guess Macy Gray was not the only named Macy, and he's definitely a man. So it's 2 guys that started it. They were in a group, a biker gang, but it's not like a motorcycle. It's like an actual bicycle group. They would ride at night no matter what the weather was like, and they actually rode by the site for the brewery, and they were like, you know what? This is a dope spot for a brewery. And they didn't even look at any other place. They were like, this is the spot. And I wonder if they were probably like the first place to pop up in that area.
Probably,
2014.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like they were probably the first group to actually have anything out there. I remember in the beginning when we first kind of like moved out here, or you were trying to get me to go there, I was like, whatever, that place. I don't know. For some reason, I was just like, no, it's fine. Or I guess I've had some of their beers before and I wasn't really intrigued. But honestly, we go there a lot now, especially because it's like right down the street from our house. I used to live in Irving, which is 20 minutes away. It's kind of far. But now that we're here, I feel like we definitely frequent HopFusion. We should have known... Our 2 best friends that work there. Our 2 best friends. One looks like Clark Kent, and the other guy makes all of the beers pretty much. And I forgot both of their names. I'm so sad. I think one of them is Jonathan. I don't know. But I would say, so really cool story. Macy and Matt, 2 men, 2 grown friend men, people, They've won a lot of awards. Like a lot of their beers, when you go to the brewery, they have the almost if you were going to go to a winery, have all their medals on their beers. And it's just it's really cool. Like they're pretty prestigious at this point. They've won a lot of national, local and national awards. So very cool. Okay, I guess let's kind of start and we'll talk a little bit more about the brewery as we go along.
Yeah, for sure. What do you want to start off with?
Ooh, that's a great question. I think we should start with the Tejano Lager. So 2 of our beers are flavored. One of them is not. So the Tejano Lager is going to be a Mexican lager with lime. I think that would be the best base to start with.
Yeah.
So I think we should start with that. Yeah. So all their cans are pretty fun. They're all kind of similar font style, and they have something along the lines of what they need. So this one is actually a Texas flag on it if you rotate the can a little bit.
Yeah.
Did you notice that?
No, yeah.
Oh, I don't think I've ever seen the can. So because we go there and we drink it on draft so often, I don't remember actually seeing the can before. So while you're pointing that, I'll kind of talk a little bit about something we haven't mentioned yet during this series, and this is our 4th episode, not 5th. Whoops. So 4th episode, we are going to talk about how you taste beer. There are different ways of tasting wine versus tasting beer, but they sound kind of similar, and they're going to be similar characteristics of what you're looking for. So we kind of talk about it while we're tasting beers, but I feel like just kind of talking to you guys about it will help you kind of guide yourself through tasting beer. So acronym itself is AATMF. So that stands for appearance, aroma, taste, mouthfeel, and finish. So it's going to be, again, very similar to how you would taste a wine, but just the terminology is a little bit different. So you're always going to start with the appearance. So this appearance, I would say it's a very lager-like color. Yeah. So this one I would say is straw yellow. So depending on the color, you'll consider there's different types of colors of yellow. So there's golden, I would say straw yellow. What about the aroma? Smeller. So if you ever hear someone saying aromatic, sometimes certain hops actually make beer have aromaticity. It's just a fancier way of saying the aroma of the beer. And depending on the beer glass you're drinking out of can help you smell specific aromas, which is why Mags has been mentioning the types of glassware you want to drink out of. I don't smell too much. I smell that lager smell.
It's very light.
Yeah, so I can smell that. As far as aromatic smells and things go,
it's clean. This is a very clean beer.
Crisp. Those are going to also kind of be your taste. So, all right. So we'll go ahead and do taste. Ooh, I don't remember the last time I had Tejano Lager.
It's a light, crisp beer.
I actually, for a second, when I first had it, and this goes into mouthfeel, does it feel thin? Does it feel thick? Those are usually your bigger characteristics. Like if it leaves a coating on your tongue. I feel like this one's pretty thin. And most lagers will be. Their lighter beers are easier to drink.
No, this you could drink couple of these and it'll be a very, very, very easy drink. And it's a 5.6 ABVs.
Cool. Okay, so it's like pretty standard. I feel like most lagers are around the 4.5 to 5.5 percentage. So 5.6 IBUs are about 12, so it's pretty low, which I wouldn't expect. There's not really a lot of hops going into this beer. It is, based on what they mentioned, it's a Mexican-style beer and a fresh lime hint. So I'm wondering...
And this beer recently got two awards. We know we're talking about awards earlier.
Oh, yeah.
It won the 2020 gold medal at the Best of Craft Beer Works show.
I'm trying to taste if I taste the lime. Or if I taste the Mexican in here.
It's a berry...
You got my joke late.
You're hilarious. The lime is definitely in there. You get a slight hint of it. But definitely it's a very, very light lager, which this is probably for like a beginner, like somebody that's barely getting introduced to craft beer. It doesn't taste like your typical lager, which like a Corona or a...
Yeah, I feel like... I can see. So let's talk about finish for this. So this one, I feel like the more I sip on it, the more I can taste a little bit of acidity from it. So I'm wondering, it's kind of...
You definitely get that acidic.
Yeah, that acid flavor at the end. Fill me up Buttercup, baby, won't you fill me up again? Thanks. Tejano lager. Yeah, I don't really go, and I don't feel like we really do. We won't go towards lagers. Oh, dang, we finished the can. We don't really go towards lagers necessarily because we want to try the big and heavies, really, usually. Mm-hmm. We want to try flavored. I love flavored beer, so I talked a little bit that I like German-style wit beers, Hefeweizens, but I also like fruit beers, and I'm kind of liking sours now, so we kind of will start looking at those first, and if we haven't tried the brewery and we have enough options, we'll try a lager usually. So what do you want me to rate this first, or you want to rate it?
Yeah, let's
Where's your telephone?
Let's see. No, I wrote everything down today. I tried not to be clicking on my phone.
You're always on the phone. By the way, I will
That's probably why I'm not remembering, because I've been, the last couple episodes, I've been having all my stats and stuff. I try to not be looking on my phone.
Scoot closer to me because your headphones you're gonna clothesline
You're
yourself.
hilarious.
We're both wearing green today. That didn't happen on purpose. I just wanted to showcase my shirt. It happened to be the olive green because that's what the logo color is. Thanks.
Hilarious. But this beer has 2.6 thousand check-ins. Average is about 3.6.
Okay. You should have told me after I said it. Yeah, that's okay.
But funny enough,
I checked it in?
We've had this probably hundreds of times.
And Mags did not remind me to check in the other beer I didn't check in last time we did this. I forgot what beer it was. The dark beer that we have had probably. And I was like, oh, your black lager from Oak Cliff. You didn't remind me to check it in. So I'm going to do that after this episode. I'm going to tell Alexa to remind me. Alexa. Okay, so I'm going to say this is really good. I feel like it's a good staple, easy drinking beer. And because it's from HopFusion, love. I would give it a 3.75.
Okay.
Because it's nice and crispy.
Yeah. I agree with you. I gave it a 4 last time I checked it in. And like I said, this is a beer where if you're just trying to hang out, if you're going to have a long night with the friends, this is something you could drink for a long time.
With the friends.
Not so high in alcohol.
Yeah.
And it's very, very light and crisp.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So you did mention the award. I feel like they won a lot of 2020 awards. So they also won a 2021 bronze medal in the International Brewski Awards. That sounds fun. Why don't we go to these things?
I know,
where
we need
are
to.
They?
We need to start looking them up.
Right? Oh my gosh. So while we're kind of talking about this, so we talked about the beers to go thing. Fun fact: did you know that Texas was the last state to pick up doing beers to go?
What?
Yeah, isn't that crazy? And then we actually during COVID, and that was in 2019. During COVID, they made it legal to pick up alcoholic beverages from companies as long as it was sealed. So you would go to these drive-through restaurants, which first of all, what drive-through restaurants have alcohol? But what's that taco place that has margaritas?
Yeah, Taco Cabana.
What? Can you sit down and eat in there like a regular restaurant?
Yeah. That's funny. That reminded me we used to go during COVID time. And pick up
they would bring you and they would seal you with the margarita and they would put the tequila in a baggie that's sealed with it. I thought that was the funniest thing. But yeah, so in 2019 they actually passed the state law that you can do beers to go, which I thought was that's kind of random. So more recently, we have seen all the places with beer cans on site. So that could be another, beer laws or just liquor laws in general are going to vary from state to state. For Texas, we have the TABC that regulates a lot of our stuff, but overall, it's going to be the Brewers Association. And we also have the Texas Brewers Guild, which I think that the HopFusion is part of because they have that tin on their wall. So yeah, fun fact. What do we got next?
Do you want to go?
Oh no, let's do the other lager because the last one's an ale. I'm scared with your cable. Why is yours so much tighter than mine? Because I'm on the left. I don't know. Wait. Okay, so is pepinillo cucumber or
cucumber?
Pickle?
Yeah, cucumber.
The website says pickle.
What was pickle? I mean, same thing. Pickle, cucumber is the same thing.
No, they're not. One is soured and one is not. I guess pickle then. But that's why, see, Spanish is so annoying. El Gran Pepinillo is a lager with pickles and peppers. Oh, this one's a little spicy. So I forgot that. We had that did we have that on Monday, Middle Monday?
Yes, we did.
I had it and I was like, oh, that's a little spicy. So it's a lager infused with Best Made pickles, which if you ever heard of Best Made, they are a local pickle distributor and make, I guess they make them in Fort Worth. So they have a pickle factory, and they have a store now that you can buy like merch. So Best Made Pickles actually has collaborated with a couple breweries because they've also collaborated with Martin House, which we'll probably do next month. So it's a lager infused with Best Made Pickles and chili árbol peppers. Yikes, that sounds spicy.
A spicy pepper.
What would you use that pepper in if you were gonna cook something Mexican?
My mama's carne con chile.
Carne con chile, hello.
Used for like any red salsa.
Oh, okay. Brushing with a spicy kick. So in this finish, we should expect some spicy.
This is my favorite cucumber beer.
It's also the original pickle beer because apparently they were around before Martin House.
Yeah,
we'll have to make sure.
Steph mentioned Martin House that's also down the street from us, and if you could put one side by side, it's completely different.
We got to try both of them.
Yeah, but this HopFusion makes probably the best cucumber beer out there right now.
They got the bronze medal for this one in 2020, and they got the platinum medal in 2021. So they must have did something between 2020 and 2021, all that COVID time. This one's a little bit more golden, I would say. Yeah,
this is a lot more. It's not as light as the.
Oh, that burn!
It's probably that it has like a little red tint, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe
from the chili peppers.
Yeah.
It stings the nostrils. Okay.
Oh, you can smell the pickles. Yeah.
Ugh.
As soon as you bring it up to your nose,
Best Made Pickles.
You can smell the pickles.
It smells nice. The first whiff I got was spicy, so my nose kind of hurt a little bit. Okay, so this is a 5.8% ABV, 12 IBUs. So very similar to our Mexican lager that we just tried. They're both lagers, so we will talk. The next one is going to be an ale, so we'll talk about the difference between that. So let's try her.
Cheers.
Did I check this in? Yeah, we didn't cheers yet.
I know.
Did I check this in?
You have not checked this in, and we've had this plenty of times.
We've had this also on Monday. So I'm going to check both of these in after my episode. Can you write them down for me so I remember? My first one was 375. This is going to probably be less. Ooh!
You could...
That lingers in the back of your throat.
Oh, you could taste the pepper.
With the spice. Okay, so just telling you guys now, I do not like spicy food. I blame my dad because my dad never ate spicy when he grew up or when my mom cooked for us. So I'm still slowly trying to build up my tolerance so Mags can eat it, because whenever he eats at home now, or we eat Sunday dinners at his parents' house, he's like, he's probably getting, his tolerance is going lower.
It's all good.
Oh my gosh. Okay. But I think you're going to be able to finish that one for me. Where's that can? Put it like you did that one. That's cool. Okay, I can barely drink this. I don't think I could drink a full one. It's very spicy for me. So just mentioning that, I would say I would give this a 3-2 because it's so spicy. I like the flavor, but it's really spicy. Spicy for me. Let me try it again. Hold on. Okay, the dogs are outside again. We gave them peanut butter bones. We gave them some pumpkin chips, which I usually will put a can of pumpkin and just freeze it and smash it up. I give them little chips of it, and then we gave them some greenies. They're barking excessively. Okay, what do you think, babe?
No, I originally gave this a 3.75, and now I mean it's still
it's not as spicy that third sip. Oh my god, it's spicy.
I think I'm sticking with my 3.75.
Okay, it's still spicy on my tongue. I was like,
no, yeah, it's very. You could definitely feel the spice, but I think that's what makes it different from Martin House. Martin House is literally
true. Just the pickle.
You literally just like taking a big bite of a pickle. Yeah.
But they did make different variations of it, so they have all these different. They have a michelada one now.
Yeah.
So I think that was kind of their play on this beer. We're going to an ale now. The difference between a lager and an ale. So fermenting is the biggest thing that's going to be your difference, and then the styles of beer that fall under those categories. So if you have two major categories, it would be lager and ale, and it depends on where the yeast ferments. So ales are fermented with top fermenting yeast at warmer temperatures between 60 degrees and 70 degrees Fahrenheit, and lagers are fermented with bottom fermenting yeast at colder temperatures between 35 and 50 degrees. So if you think about it, you have to brew them at a specific temperature or the yeast will not go where it needs to go. If you're trying to make an ale and it ends up going to the bottom, it's not going to taste how it's supposed to. Your yeast is not going to ferment correctly, and it's just going to fall flat. And then the same thing with a cold yeast for a lager. If you're not doing it at the correct temperature, it may or may not have the yeast ferment and do what it needs to do to produce alcohol. We are going to have to make a stop at like a local brewery supply store so that we can start looking. We kind of looked at some stuff on a website of a brewery company nearby that we can buy supplies at, but it's so daunting. There's so many different hops. I feel like I was a lot better in Maine, and it was like, oh, I know exactly what hops I like, and now I just have no idea because I don't feel like they don't shell out that detail when I'm like down in Texas and in other states. So
stay tuned. We'll be making beer.
Yes, we should do an episode walking in there. I hope there's a little old man that said that he's been making beer like for 700 years, and he's like, this hop. I made this hop in my backyard. I don't know. I imagine that's how I imagine my store with like a guy with like suspenders, like trying to sell his hops. Okay, cool. Well,
so we're ready for this.
Let's do this ale.
Ale.
Tell us about this ale, babe.
I mean, it's the Peach Cobbler. This is part of their Feisty Blonde or Feisty Fest lineup that they had. They had a whole bunch of different beers. I guess again the base of this beer is the Feisty Blonde.
Well, that one's a Skinny Blonde. Remember you told me Skinny Blonde.
But it's still, I mean, the Skinny Blonde is still the Feisty Blonde, but just a lighter portion of it.
I think it was the lower ABVs, which is why I didn't get it while we were in the brewery. I was like, I'm not wasting my time in no 3 something blah 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 ABV. So look at this. It's a crowler. So I think all their crowlers have the same design.
Yeah, they just add
the
sticker.
Show them the sticker. So if you get a crowler, you'll know exactly what it is. Ooh, and it says, I'm canned. No, the other side. I'm canned to be enjoyed within about 2 weeks. We'll finish it today. So that's fine. So Peach Cobbler. So Skinny Blonde, which is
one of their base
skinnier versions of Feisty Blonde, which is their blonde ale. With peaches, and one of our best friends at HopFusion, right before we were leaving, he's like, I made that. So he's actually one of the guys that will do all the infusions. So if you ever go on a Friday or a Saturday night, they have weekend infusions. Well, they'll kind of make them until they run out, essentially. So they put all these different fun.
So I guess, yeah. I mean, they I guess they always do this Feisty Blonde because every week
Fest?
That's how they figure out their flavors because every week it's a different.
Well, it's
a different infusion.
The last infusion we had, I think, was the orange blossom, and then it had like blackberries and other stuff. So it's really cool because the canister is right by the bar. You could see what's in it, so you can kind of guess what's inside of it. So that's a really cool thing. If you want to go on a Friday or a Saturday, they have that until they pretty much run out. With the Feisty Fest beers, they started it on Friday, and they said that they're going to just keep selling whatever they have until they sell out. So there was also a peach ginger beer, which I really liked. There was also a Sangria Feisty Redhead. Yeah. So that's their red ale. So those were pretty dope. Pour us up, babe. I'm just going to keep talking. You don't have to stop for me. Like, this is a picture of the two dudes. Oh, she's foamy. So again, top fermenting beer with the yeast. Look, here's the two guys.
Oh, yeah.
They're dudes. I know. I was like, I thought it was a lady. Macy is the guy on the right. I don't think you guys are going to be able to see this, so I'll just post a cute picture of them. I got to find one. I'm going to stalk them. Stalk them on Instagram. So they usually will have at least 19 beers on tap. They also make craft sodas. I think that's more of a recent development.
A recent thing, yeah.
They have a tizzy, which is a seltzer. I don't know what else. They do have some other options. They don't have food there, but there's a bunch of restaurants nearby, so you can order food and bring it with you. They always have some kind of sporting event going on, so we actually went on a Monday for a soccer game.
They have a nice little setup, a big screen projector. So it's always a good vibe, and if y'all were to come down and visit HopFusion, that little area around it, they opened up a whole bunch of cool restaurants, bars. It's a good little. If you're not big into like the crowds and stuff, having a good clubbing, you will have a good time in this area. It's a lot smaller. It's just a good time for sure.
And parking wise, they're actually building a garage with this apartment building, so hopefully parking will get better because it is always popping. It's kind of hard to find parking, but you won't ever go home because you didn't find parking. I used to do that in Florida all the time. So around it, there is another place nearby that also brews beer. So maybe we should do that. We didn't even talk about Funky Picnic.
Oh, Funky Picnic! That's
you
a good
can get a flight. It looks like a picnic basket, and it's like 16 beers. Yes. Yeah. Okay. All right. Peach Cobbler. Skinny Blonde. What do you smell? Oh, and he asked Mags if he wanted it dressed, and I was like, "What do you guys put on it? Like cinnamon?" But he said they put pastry, like the crust, and I was like, "Wow, I don't know if he was actually being serious or not." And I was like, I didn't see anybody else getting it dressed, so I'm not really sure. Like he might have been being silly, but who knows? But I thought that was a cool idea. Don't mind the dogs.
What do you smell?
I definitely smell the ale. You can smell the difference.
Since we've had the blonde before, the
and
skinny
this one's
blonde.
even more golden compared to these two. Yeah. And it could just be the type of beer. It's a little hazier too. It smells like an ale, which
definitely
is, I would say, kind of earthy. I don't know. What would you say? It does smell like a pie. Like if I close my eyes, it smells like a pie. And earthiness.
I say it's definitely earthy.
What is that flavor? I think that's just the blonde ale flavor. It does linger in your mouth. I would say the finish. It's kind of creamy.
The beginning for me, you definitely get just the skinny blonde. Mm-hmm. I only taste the skinny blonde. But then towards the end, once it hits the back of the throat, that's when you get those the flavor. Peach cobbler, the sweetness of it. Definitely. I just, in my mind, I almost don't taste the peach. I felt like I did definitely taste it it could be just depending on we didn't have the beer sitting out too long, but we were having technical difficulties trying to set up. And again, panic attack. I was trying to make sure that we could use the mics and not just throw it out the window because I was so frustrated. But if they weren't sitting out too long, it should be okay. I mean, it's very slight. It's not nothing like it's not gonna.
I do taste it. I think also towards the bottom of the can we'll probably get more of that flavor, but towards my last little bit was definitely more peach. Mm-hmm. I would say. Somebody actually at the bar was ordering. So we there's these two little spots on either side of the bar where you can sit. There's two chairs, but right in the middle of that is where you go to order. So this guy came up to Mags and he's like, "You should get the peach cobbler." And in my mind, I'm thinking it's gonna be sweet. It's gonna be like overpoweringly sweet. This is a very subtle, easy blonde ale to drink with a little bit of subtle peach flavor for sure. And I think what kind of traumatized us from those type of flavors, Martin House. But I do really like fruited beers. I like mango style beers. I like tropical beers. So this peach cobbler I think is really good. I would probably give it. We had 2 lagers today. I feel like I would give this a 3.5 because it's pretty subtle throughout for me. You checked this on yesterday. Was it yesterday? Monday. No, it was Monday. And you gave it a 3.75. Dang it! I was gonna say 3.75, but. Yep. Oops. No, I gave it a 3.75 too. And it's averaging right now. It's fairly new. It only has 24 check-ins on the app. Oh yeah, because it came out with this series of Feisty Blonde, the Feisty Blonde event. So let's talk a little bit more about the brewery. So actually, let's talk about what beer is your favorite, so that we can use our cups. Our real cups. Our HopFusion cups. So, HopFusion is one of the breweries that we'll recommend if you guys do come down. They have awesome events. Mondays is one of our favorite days. They created this a cup. Well, a day. It's called Metal Mondays. It's literally a metal cup. Stainless steel metal cup. Matte black. And it literally says Metal Monday on it. And it says... And they play metal music all day. All day. It was actually fun the first time... Not the first time, probably the second time we went. No, the first time? Yeah, the first time we went when your brother came down. Okay, I wasn't sure. And they were playing hardcore metal music, like the... I can't even do the sound. Those guys. I don't even think you would call that grunge. It's just the yelling kind. I don't know what it's called. But I'm okay. I'll deal. It's just a different vibe, and it's always fun. A good time. Yeah. Wednesdays they have karaoke night. Yeah, which we haven't done in a while. We haven't done it in a long time. Oh my gosh, today's Wednesday. Oh. Steph's definitely had a couple of concerts there a couple of times. Karaoke. The guy did not want to put me on for 2 songs in a row, and I was like, what kind of karaoke DJ are you? Usually they love me. He was not nice. What? Yeah, they do trivia. They do geek trivia.
Geeks who drink.
Oh, geeks who drink.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've seen that before. Geeks who drink. So they, depending on the day, sometimes they'll do themes. I feel like, but it just kind of depends. We tried to do trivia that one time, and I feel like we kind of jumped in too late, but also it was hard. Yeah. The only one that I got right was hepatitis B, and that was a bonus question. I was like, yeah, let's do this. But yeah, so Metal Monday cups. Super fun. You get happy hour pricing all day on Mondays.
Yeah, which is $2 off for their pours.
Most of the time, happy hours are from 4 to 7, something like that.
4 to 7.
Yeah, and then what else? They have music. They have live music
Saturdays.
on Saturdays. They do Toys for Tots in the winter. They usually will have different types of events. You can hold an event in their space. So that's another cool thing that I really like. They do have a couple little snacks. So if there's not any restaurants open by the time you get there, you can definitely have some snackage also. But yeah, I would definitely recommend it. I feel like every time we go, we have kind of the same bartenders, but it might just be because we go
the same days. We never. I don't think we've ever been to like a. Well, it's been a long time since we've been on like a Saturday or a Friday.
That one time, man, I really liked it. It was gonna happen. Hey, what if I didn't want that pour?
That's the only option we got.
Oh, just kidding. Drink it, Zamboni. Zamboni. Do you know what that means?
Yes.
Hey, you slurp it off the table like you're a Zamboni on an ice skating
ice skating ring.
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers.
Careful with my equipment, thank you. Even though it was messed up earlier. I got all head. I gotta wait. I guess that's it. Anything else? Final thoughts on HopFusion? We love it. This is another big one that we really love. Any
questions about any type of beers that you guys may have, let us know. We will try to make an episode about it.
What's out of the ones we tried, what is one of your other favorite beers for them? From
HopFusion?
Yeah.
Shoot.
I love the Orange Blossom and the Palm Wizard. Those are my two favorites.
They're too weedy for me. They're too weedy.
Those are wheat beers.
I can't do wheat beers.
What else? We actually we were brave and tried the Coco Añejo and the Fur Slipper yesterday. Did I check in the Fur Slipper? Did I try it?
I don't. I mean, I've had on Monday, I've had a lot of beers that I typically don't go for.
And one of our best friends was like, "You've never had the Fur Slipper before? It's a staple." He was very surprised because they know us there.
Yeah,
we're friends.
We're friends.
They know our dog. They know KMS at least. So I don't think we've brought Stella there before. But yeah, so think about it.
Shoot. It's probably
I feel like you always get the Pepinillo because they give you a slice.
I only get it once. So like that's usually like my last beer there because it's not a beer that I could drink a lot like a lot of it. I can only have one of it, and I actually like because they're
So instead of doing a lime on the beer, they give you a giant giant thick piece of pickle. Yeah. I couldn't even say that.
I like a lot of their lighter beers, like this. Tejano Lager is one of my go-tos. Yeah. The Dad Life is one of my go-tos.
Oh yeah, Purple Rain. That's what it was. Yeah, that's the Prince beer that I was talking about.
And I liked it too. And I was surprised because it was a wheat beer.
That was the last time we went when there was music, and you didn't feel good, so we had to go home early. I was like, "What? You don't feel good? Wow." Or like, you want to go home first?
For real.
Usually Mags is begging me to leave because I once I get going. Can't stop me now. Perfect. We're working on that. It's okay. We're getting older now. My birthday is coming up. More years on this planet.
This is going to go up after your birthday, so you're going to be old by the time this episode.
Old? I'm just going to be 1 year older. It's fine. We're getting closer and closer to our cruise. Let us know if you guys want to take our equipment on the boat. Max is very hesitant to do it. I would love to do a podcast on the boat.
We're not trying to work
but it would be so fun. We would just do the beers on the boat. And it's probably not going to be any you know what, actually? No, I don't think they did. Yeah, because the boats go different places. They don't have staple beers from where you're going. Mm-hmm. So we'd probably have to do one on one of the islands. We're going to St. Thomas. We're doing East Caribbean. So we could do a St. Martin, St. Thomas beer. I don't know. I think we should do it. I'm going to bring it just in case.
Nope.
It's a full backpack.
You do it by yourself. I won't be out in the...
I'll have my sister do it, and she hates beer. So I think it'll be fun to just see her reaction. I'll just take pictures, screenshots of her but yeah, we'll see. Okay, well, this was a fun episode. please do, if you're ever in Fort Worth, head out to HopFusion Aleworks. We never call it the full name. It's just HopFusion to us. Go meet our two best friends. Remind us their names. I'm going to stalk their Facebook or their Instagram to find out what their names are. I couldn't figure it out beforehand. I'm pretty sure one of them's Jonathan. I don't know, but they've been working there for a long time. They probably only have a handful of employees that work there.
Yeah, I mean, every time we go, no matter what day, it's usually the same.
Clark Kent is always there.
Yes.
And the guy that mixes all the beer infusions is always there.
Cool. That was
Maybe one day we'll meet Macy, who's not a woman.
I know.
I thought the same thing when I saw the name. Hey,
we need to go in there and take a tour.
I know a lot of breweries are still not doing tours. Maybe
I think they do tours.
I think on their website they say no tours at this time. But I think everybody is slowly going to start doing things again, hopefully. I love a good beer tour, so hopefully we can definitely do that.
Yeah.
Learn a little bit more about their process.
Especially because we're trying to brew some beer.
Don't tell them that. We are, but, we don't want to steal people's ideas. We'll do our own thing. It's going to be challenging, but, this was a challenge on its own. So trying to get this podcast going and hope that you guys are liking what we're talking about. Again, just let us know what you think. I hope you guys like the merch, because merch will be coming soon. If enough people really want merch, just let me know. Follow Instagram, TikTok. We're on YouTube. Clearly, this is where we're posting our videos, so please subscribe. We've got 10 full subscribers. We're getting crazy over here.
Shoot for 20.
Shoot for 20. I would love to see more people follow us, and just, we can do more. Whatever you guys think. We'll have guests on the podcast. I actually a lot
of my friends in Austin, Steve will say he's down to
do an
episode. He said he doesn't drink craft beer, and it will be an interesting conversation for him to have and try different type of.
I feel like too, with this kind of scenario, it's kind of nice because we can bring in different things we didn't know about. So my brother-in-law, when I went to Houston, and that's how we found out that the equipment wasn't working, he is trying to kind of see what we're working with and potentially start something on his own. But he wants to do a seltzer episode, so we will probably do a seltzer episode for sure.
Some claws.
I don't want to do claws. Maybe we'll do like I honestly would love to do a local seltzer, and there's honestly so many kinds of seltzers now. Or maybe we'll do like
HopFusion has a tizzy now.
Tizzy.
It's pretty dope.
Names are fun with beers. That's another thing that'll catch people's eyes, I feel like.
Yep.
All right, well, we went pretty well on time, even though we were just blabbering the last 10 minutes or so. Let's have one more sip. Cheers to Metal Monday, even though it's Wednesday. Go to HopFusion. It's not too far off South Side area. It's on Main Street, pretty much. Really cool spot. Lots of food options around. We live here, so we just that's one more reason to come here, obviously. So signing out.
Smags.
And this is Dr. V. Catch us on the next episode of Beer Me Dr. V, where it's never refilled too soon. We'll catch you guys next time.
Cheers.
Cheers. Have a good night.